hat, sunglasses, Pepsi, notes, sources, thick skin. Check. You already know. Let's go. Welcome to the college football YouTube channel known as Golden Blue. Please hit the like and subscribe button if that's what you're into. And everybody, send gear to represent your team in my background forever. Check it out. That's all my background is made of. Send your gear to P.O. Box 360, Liberty, South Carolina 29650. Rumors. I have rumors. Would y'all like to hear the rumors? Are you sure? Okay. I got you. So here's what I'm hearing from the rumor mill. And when I say rumor mill, I'm talking about multiple sources that do not know one another. So there's no way that they know that the other person is telling me the same exact information. I'm talking about the head coaching situation at West Virginia. Neal Brown is just not working out. And we've heard from Shane Lyons over and over and over. I believe in Neal Brown. He's building something here. He's not going to be fired anytime soon. He's going to be the future head coach of West Virginia. Just give it time. Let's get through this. No, this is year 4. And we look just as bad as we did in 2019. West Virginia could finish 5-7. You're losing fan support from the West Virginia fan base. I mean, think about it. You're losing money because people are starting to not show up in the home games for West Virginia. You're losing money because of your own stubbornness. Well, it might cost you your job, Shane Lyons. It just might cost you your job. So here's what I'm hearing from my sources in the rumor mill. So first and foremost, rumor has it that West Virginia and Hugh Freeze have actually talked. Have actually met. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I'm hearing, that they've actually discussed some things. So West Virginia is very, very interested in Hugh Freeze. That much I know 100%. I know that West Virginia is interested in Hugh Freeze, and I know that Hugh Freeze is interested in West Virginia. 100% know that for a fact. It's the part where they've talked, they've communicated, they've discussed some things. Not 100% sure about that, but I'm hearing it from multiple sources that they have talked about it. So actual numbers, actual figures. What I'm hearing, number one, boosters are not happy with Neal Brown. They want him out ASAP. And they are strongly encouraging Shane Lyons to negotiate his buyout. And from what I'm hearing, they're going to try to negotiate his buyout down to around $10 million. I don't think they're going to be successful to get it down that far. But if I have to make a guess, I think West Virginia will buy out Neal Brown for around $13 million, maybe $14 million if necessary. But it will be able to be negotiated a little lower than what it is now. So negotiations for the buyout for Neal Brown will take place this year, from what I'm understanding. Unless an incredible turnaround and he reels off 5 straight wins and we finish 8-4. That's the only way he's going to keep his job. I wouldn't even be satisfied with 4 out of 5 wins and going 7-5. It's ridiculous. I mean, the talent that we have on this team, we should not be 3-4 right now, and we shouldn't have to win 5-0 just to get to 8-4. It's flat out ridiculous. So the negotiation for the Neal Brown buyout is going to try to get it down to around $10 million. I'm going to guess between $12 and $14 million. But on top of that, the contract for Hugh Freeze. How much money is West Virginia going to offer Hugh Freeze? Well, from what I'm hearing, they're going to offer him around $6.5 million. For West Virginia, that's high. Now, you compare that to an Alabama, Texas A&M, and the Clemson and what they're paying their coaches, even a Michigan State, Ohio State, it's not that much. But for West Virginia, that's high dollar. That's more than what Neal Brown makes right now. That would be Neal Brown getting a massive raise. But guess what? Hugh Freeze would be worth it. You know why? West Virginia needs a coach that can get us out of this ditch right now. We can't rely on a 5-year plan to where hopefully we're going to be around 7-5 or 8-4 in year 5. No, that's nonsense. West Virginia is too good of a football brand and has too much football history to have to do that and have to rebuild from the ground up, and hopefully we have an 8-4 season in 5 years. That's stupid. So we need a coach that can get us out of the ditch immediately. And Hugh Freeze is that coach. He did it for Ole Miss. Well, let's back up even more. He did it for Arkansas State. He did it for Ole Miss. And he did it for Liberty. Let's admit it. Before Hugh Freeze took over at Liberty, how many of us knew that Liberty even had a football team? The only reason that I knew that Liberty University even existed is because my dad got a PhD from Liberty University. That's the only reason why I knew it even existed. But having a football team, Nope, that was a new one on me. Well, in comes Hugh Freeze, and now everybody pretty much knows that Liberty has a football team, a good football team, a competitive football team, a football team that would probably be able to survive in a lower class Power 5 conference, say like an ACC or a Big 12, something like that. And whenever I say lower class, I'm not trying to smash the Pac-12, the ACC, or the Big 12, but let's face facts. They're not making the type of money that the Big 10 or the SEC are making. So I think Liberty would fit nicely in the ACC, and I think they would fit okay in the Big 12 as well. Point is, Hugh Freeze can take a team not just out of a ditch, but out of obscurity in the case of Liberty, and bring them into prominence. I think Hugh Freeze should be the #1 candidate for West Virginia. Now, there are some backup candidates, and I already did a video on this, but I would say Tom Herman and Lance Leipold should also be in the top 3 as well. Those are your top 3, or should be your top 3. Hugh Freeze, Tom Herman, Lance Leipold. Now, I'm not going to make another video on why I like the other 2 as well. That was a separate video. Today, I'm talking about Hugh Freeze and the fact that West Virginia has been talking to him. From what I'm hearing, I don't know if that's 100% true. I know that they're interested in him 100%. But from what I'm hearing, they're talking to Hugh Freeze, and Hugh Freeze is talking back. And $6.5 million is the figure that's being passed around as far as West Virginia offering him. Plus incentives. Don't forget about that. Plus incentives. Like winning the Big 12, getting West Virginia to the playoffs, having a 10-win season, incentives like that. I really hope this happens. Now, the only thing that worries me about this situation is other teams that are going to have coaching vacancies, they're going to have more money than West Virginia offering Hugh Freeze. You have Nebraska out there. They don't worry me as much because I think they're going to go after a Midwestern coach, say like a Matt Campbell, something like that. It's Auburn that worries me. Auburn worries me a lot, to be honest with you, because Brian Harsin is falling on his face. I know it's only year 2, but Auburn looks terrible. Absolutely terrible. Y'all got to remember that Gus Malzahn was fired from Auburn. Huge buyout. They ate a huge buyout. He never had a losing season. He took Auburn to a national championship. Didn't win it, but took them to a national championship, and they still fired him. Well, Brian Harsin is looking even worse than Gus Malzahn. He's probably going to be fired at the end of the season. Auburn, I'm hearing from a lot of Auburn fans that they do like Hugh Freeze, that if they do fire Brian Harsin, that they will interview Hugh Freeze. So if West Virginia can't lock down Hugh Freeze before Auburn comes a-calling, then all this might be for naught. I might be doing this in vain because they're going to swoop in and get him for bigger money anyways, and it doesn't even matter that West Virginia is interested in Hugh Freeze. So the point of this video is, #1, West Virginia is interested in Hugh Freeze. #2, they better make up their mind to fire Neal Brown sooner rather than later. And #3, if we're that interested in Hugh Freeze, we better lock him down sooner rather than later because Auburn has a lot more money than West Virginia that they can offer to Hugh Freeze. So we cannot let this turn into a bidding war because guess what? We will get outbid. And on top of that, I'm hearing that if Shane Lyons is not okay with Neal Brown being fired and bringing in Hugh Freeze, that his days are numbered as well. And they already know who they would replace him with. So Shane Lyons, you better get on board or you might be without a job as well. Y'all let me know in the comment section. #1, do you think Shane Lyons gets on board and actually fires Neal Brown? Or does he lose his job? #2, should Hugh Freeze be the #1 candidate for West Virginia? And #3, can they get Hugh Freeze before Auburn comes and knocking and tries to outbid us for Hugh Freeze? That's all I got for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.